Today we are going to discuss about the submandibular region. Clinically it is an important region. If you see the introduction, this submandibular region extends superiorly up to the mylohyoid line of the mandible. Mylohyoid line present on the inner aspect of the body as well as the ramus of the mandible. Inferiorly, this region is bounded by the hyoid bone. Now, superficially, this region also includes the submental triangle and the digestive triangle. Digestive triangle also known as the submandibular triangle. While the deeply, this region includes the structures of the floor of mouth and root of the tongue. Now, what are the important contents of this region? Why this region is important? Because this region contains these structures. First of all, it is the suprahyoid muscles. Suprahyoid muscles, the muscles situated above the hyoid bone. They are the four suprahyoid muscles. It is the digastric, stylohyoid, geniohyoid, and the mylohyoid. These are the four suprahyoid muscles, and these suprahyoid muscles are present in this region. Then it is the extrinsic muscles of the tongue, that is genioglossus, hyoglossus, and the styloglossus. These three extrinsic muscles, that is the genioglossus, hyoglossus, and the styloglossus, except the palatoglossus, these three extrinsic muscles are present in this region, out of which these hyoglossus muscles, hyoglossus, it is the important landmark of this submandibular region. Now, this region contains the two salivary glands, that is the submandibular and the sublingual salivary glands are present in this region. This region contains the important nerves. It is the lingual nerve, hypoglossal nerve, and a ganglion, that is the submandibular ganglion, hanging by this lingual nerve, is present in this region. This region has the vessels, a part of the lingual artery along with the vein, and it is a part of the facial artery and the vein, that is the cervical part. It is present in this region, and this region contains the submandibular group of the lymph nodes. Submandibular group of the lymph nodes. So, these are the following structures present in this region. The importance of this region, submandibular region. This submandibular region has a space. This space is known as the submandibular space. This space, it is bounded superiorly by the mucous membrane lining the floor of the mouth as well as the tongue. Superiorly, it is the floor of the mouth and the tongue, while the inferiorly, it is bounded by the superficial lamina of investing layer of the deep cervical fascia that forms the lower limb. So, between these two structures, there is a space. This space encloses the submandibular gland as well as the sublingual gland. This space is known as the submandibular space, and the infection of this space and the collection occurs in this space is known as the Lubbock's angina. Then, the submandibular region, it is a common site of the swelling at the floor of the mouth. This swelling may be due to the enlargement of the salivary gland, either submandibular or the sublingual, this is maybe due to the enlargement of the submandibular lymph nodes. These submandibular lymph nodes are related with the inferior surface of the submandibular gland. We will discuss next class. Now this submandibular lymph nodes receives the lymphatics from these structures. It receives from the center of the forehead, from the medial angle of the eye, side of the nose, cheek, angle of the mouth, upper lip, lateral part of the lower lip, anterior 2/3 of the tongue, as well as the submental group of the lymph node that is present in the submental triangle also drains into the submandibular group of the lymph nodes. Ultimately, these lymphatics drains into the deep cervical group of the lymph node, that is the partially into the jugulodigestive group, and mainly it is the jugulo-omoid. Jugulo-omoid group of the lymph node. So this is the importance of this submandibular region. Submandibular region, if you see the arrangement of the muscles, it is the suprahyoid muscles as well as the extrinsic muscles of the tongue. The first layer, we dissect, we remove the skin, superficial fascia along with the platysma, then the deep fascia, then we write the muscle plane. In the first layer, we find first it is the suprahyoid muscles, that is the digastric muscles and the styloid muscles. These are present in the first plane, first layer. Then the second layer, it is the mylohyoid muscles. It is the important muscles, mylohyoid muscles. Then the third layer, from anterior to the posterior, it is the geniohyoid. Another suprahyoid muscles, it is the hyoglossus and the styloglossus. These are the two extrinsic muscles of the tongue. And the last layer, deep layer, it is anteriorly, it is the genioglossus muscles, largest muscles, extrinsic muscle of the tongue, and posteriorly, it is the middle constrictor muscles of the pharynx. So in the submandibular regions, the muscles are arranged in the four planes, from the superficial to the deep.